There's a live button up here.
Well, yeah, I know that, but like the time.
We're live. This is going to be Lorelei's unicorn live stream, so it's going to take a second to start it. I always start early because I don't trust Jitsi these days. Be back in a little bit.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hello, unicorns.
Yeah, baby. She's relative to you still. You know, it's the
Yeah, you gotta put me through the ringer.
yeah.
First.
We'll see. We'll see if she's a unicorn.
I have to, damn it, I have to toggle off my video again. The connection is so bad.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, thanks for showing us your.
Oh. I kind of like to be only a voice, though. It's funny. I can do stuff like pick my nose, you know, or check text messages. Hey, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Just one. I really tried to delegate yesterday, but didn't work.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it shouldn't work. It shouldn't work. You shouldn't have that ability.
I was so stoked because this feature would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
And Lorelei would not have to do all this admin stuff.
Yeah, especially for you. You always choose like there's more milestones each week. Like, let me put $25 to this one.
But isn't that how it's supposed to work?
It works how you want it to work.
Yeah, it totally works. Good. You're
I'm more of a little by little guy. Yeah.
Incrementalist. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna go over there. I like it.
Oops. Yeah, there are other ways we have to like change the map.
Yeah, we'll just play the mute game.
Will we? I mean.
Well, for the most part, you and I are going to do most of the talking, and then we can exchange. I mean, if you talk now, hey, Chris, start talking and see if Kai can hear you without the mute.
Yeah, keep yours muted.
Hey, Kai, can you hear me talking right now?
Yeah.
How well?
No problem. Great.
Otherwise,
Great. Okay, yeah, you have to talk loud, but if you talk loud, I can hear you. And you don't talk with a full mouth, mister?
I won't.
Nice banana.
So you can hear him pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so welcome to the next unicorn onboarding meeting for Lorelei. I think, Lorelei, what number of unicorn are you going to be?
I think I'm the 6th one.
The 6th unicorn, the most magical unicorn, the unicorn that herds all the other unicorns, maybe the shepherd unicorn. But this unicorn is very special to me. She has made all of this possible, and I'm so excited to have this moment to actually honor and have a little unicorn ceremony with Lorelei, and I'm so glad you guys are here. It's going to be I'm pretty excited about this. It's a long time coming. So to start, I want to just do one of my favorite onboarding or my favorite initial things that Lorelei actually created, or at least brought into the Giveth ecosystem, which is the rose exercise. So imagine you have in front of you a rose. There is the rose has a sweet. How does it go? It has a thorn. Has a thorn first, right?
Well, it doesn't have
The
to be
order.
first.
Oh, the order doesn't matter.
I mean, I like positive things first. There's 2 positive things. So you know, the
sandwich, the thorn. Yeah.
The sweet smell is like just what you're grateful for. The thorn is what's difficult, and the bud is what you're excited for.
Okay. So yeah. So let's. So the topic here is Lorelei becoming part of the unicorn herd. And you know, this is a kind of funny thing because you get to have a thorn with Lorelei, which is pretty difficult to have. But yeah, so imagine you have in front of you a thorn with a sweet, a rose with a sweet smell, a thorn, and a bud. And that rose represents Lorelei's entrance into this community, right? And participation in this community. So I'll model. I haven't thought of anything yet, so we'll see what I say. The sweet smell is all the organization and incredible drive she has to finish things and carry them forward, even when they're long and draining. And the organization around the Unicorn DAC and all the amazing community building and governance stuff that she's done. The thorn, I think, is definitely going to be time management and how do we achieve. Let's see, what is a thorn? I need a thorn. That's not a good thorn. The thorn is probably, man, I can't think of any thorns. What's a thorn for Lorelei? Maybe maybe just being able to be really, man, I don't have anything. There are no thorns.
Yes, you do. You have something.
Let's see. Lorelei doesn't do. It's a challenge. Well, I think a challenge will definitely be. No, but you just overcome all the tech challenges so well. Maybe like super extroverted and gathering people for. It's sometimes a challenge to really collect all these unicorns. While building the organization and the foundation for it is really natural. Sometimes actually getting the people to participate and corralling them is a little more challenging. And so that's an opportunity. And then the bud is definitely the tech side of things, like learning. I see her continually like expanding her knowledge base and much like Kai, much like you do often as well, learning new tools and integrating them in. And I'm excited to see how she does with Argon DAOs and other more adventurous blockchain tools. So I'll pass my rose to Chris.
So the sweet smell of Lorelei is definitely, of Lorelei's rose is for me definitely the general. I'm also improvising here. So, just the general energy you bring and the organization. It's really nice to have someone else who's also a maintainer who wants to start the process and wants to continue and just doesn't drop it when something new shows up. With which I don't mean that the initiators do this, but it's like it's fun in our heads to like just go after something and make sure that it actually comes to fruition. That is really a very sweet smell to me. The thorn, I was looking like, can I find something? It's difficult as well. I think if there is one, I think it would be the and that's not even a thorn. It's more like something that I think you could be careful for in the same way that I have to be careful for. That in our way of like wanting to get these structures done, that we have to always be careful not to butt heads with people who are less into like having these structures, because some people are like don't like that much. But I don't know if it's something that is applicable. I know I have to be careful for it.
You mean people that like struggle with the amount of meetings and engagement and are like,
yeah, like you have to do this by that time
yeah.
and so on. Like some people like they like resist it very much. But it's not even really a thorn. I think it's good that you do that and you do it in a way gentler way than I do. So
ever since we abolished public shaming.
yeah, although I still want public shaming to be brought back. So that's maybe a thorn that we don't have we don't have shame.
Fair.
Shame.
Shame.
That's a shame. And then the bud. I would say just like being the fact that you're becoming more and more a real, true, deep integrated part of the given galaxy. Yeah, I cannot wait to just see what more value you will bring, because I think you're just the only thing that I see is added value to everything that we do. You just bring value and a lot of warmth as well, which I appreciate.
Oh, thank you.
So that's for me.
You're gonna pass it to.
And I pass it to Kai.
Yeah, I would like to say something very original. Maybe something comes up, but I think the roses here are very well defined, and it really speaks to like how focused Lorelei is in this whole thing. That like we similar things. So for me, the sweet smell is all this stuff you brought into organization here, like the roles meeting and talking about roles, and like Chris said, this drive to like hunt down people for not physically but for their contributions and such, and to remind them, which is very important. So this is really smelling nice to me, because it was very hard before you came to even talk about this kind of, or at least you made it very easy with the, put the video off again. You made it very easy because you focused more on the on a like a whole, on the whole picture and a holistic concept. And I know it's still the beginning, which is probably going to the bud. It's still the beginning, I feel, of the unicorn DAC for sure. And the rose process, we have like a good thing going there. And I feel like every time we get together and talk about it, it's a bit painful because there's so much, but it definitely develops stuff. And I'm very excited if we can, like, I think in like 3 months, this will be very cool. It's cool right now, but it will be even better. So this whole, like, you are the bud, Lorelei, within Giveth. I'm so happy that that you two like found each other and enjoy time so much with each other, and because it's very important. It makes stuff so easy because you stick to Griff such a for a good amount of time of the year, like not all the time, but most of the time. So I think it manages to make stuff easier for all of us, because you can delegate to the other and so on. So that would be my thorn, maybe. Also, on the other hand, like because you're in the vicinity of Griff and all that, you get and you're a very creative person, so you get all these ideas, and that's how I think you came off to a bit of a rough start, because you were proposing a few things, like it seemed to me at once, and it took a time for them to develop. So I hope that that you can be good at managing stuff for yourself. Like you should still have time to play your ukulele and do whatever you like, and don't let private life get, you know, all the way like squished out and only work. But you know that we are here, and this is not criticism, it's like how we work. But I feel like in general we should all try to work better together, and maybe ask other people for like to delegate stuff more, and like ask, hey, can you help me with this? This is looks like you have spent some time here, maybe we want to do it together. It's very hard to do because of our distributed nature as a team. Yeah, I mean, it's no crazy thorn. It's almost like a non-sharp, like one of the stubs. Because I'm really, like, after all, I'm so glad you're here. And yeah, I think I will have the chance to praise you a little more later. So I give it back to Griff.
Oh, well, actually, you get a rose too.
Oh, I get a rose. Wait. Thank you, Kai. Okay. So, for me, the sweet smell of this rose is just having this community within which to experiment on all of these like human communication and organization and governance models that I'm like so thrilled by and excited about, and having an actual real like playground, a whole lab of humans with which to conduct these tests. I feel really fortunate with that. Like I've always studied theory of all of these things, and it's rare the moments when you get to work within a project that is actually so like inherently and by definition excited about experimenting on those things. Yeah, but it's like completely 100% unique. I've never experienced any other team or work scenario like this, and that's beautiful. And my thorn, I think, is about like splitting of attention and time. I proposed this DAC experiment like back in July, probably for the first time. That very flustered proposal, and I was like fresh out of like we had just eliminated the triple checking and that whole system, so I was like suddenly like needing more roles to fill to make myself useful in Giveth, and so I started like saying yes to lots of things, like, yeah, I'm going to spearhead the Unicorn DAC. Yeah, I'll help out with Argonne DAC hiring. Yeah, I'll be conflict resolution person. Well, I already was. And yeah, I'll still be your assistant, Griff. And yeah, you broke your leg, and I'll still do everything for you.
and yeah, you'll still be his girlfriend on top of all that.
Yeah. And yeah, I definitely like the past few months have each one of those things besides the broken leg have been growing, and that's been a lot for me. And I don't think that I have done the best job of splitting my time, and I haven't played my ukulele very much.
That's the one thing you haven't done. I think the rest you've done great.
Yeah. So that's my thorn. So I'm hoping I can call some more self-organization in. And my bud, what am I excited for? I'm really excited about putting this onto Argonne, and I really don't understand it at all. And so, really? Oh my God. Thank you. I think Kai understands a little bit.
We will talk after your, I want to talk about this later after your onboarding.
I'm really excited about it. I think it might make things way easier, and I just don't know how. And I'm excited about developing myself more with technical skills. So hopefully that comes along. Hopefully there's time for that. That's my rose. And Griff, are you going to stop chatting so you can keep facilitating?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for your beautiful rose. And now we can start the show. So this the first thing, we should just get some of the like basics out of the way and get this on video that you've actually gone and participated in gov meetings.
Yes.
Have you participated in the roles meetings?
Yes.
And you have a role.
Yes.
You have clear roles defined with accountabilities.
Yes.
Have you made a milestone?
Yes.
And it's been paid out.
Yes, that was a sticky one. I actually hadn't done that until the unicorn days.
Wow.
But I did it like 2 months ago, so.
Good job. And uncles, you have 2 people that agree to be your sponsor in the Giveth Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kai.
Uncle Chris and Uncle Kai.
Kai, do you agree to be her uncle?
Yeah, man. I will be her what the Ethereum people say.
You'll be her robot, is what it sounded like.
No, Omar. Yeah, I'll be her uncle. I write it in chat.
No, you know how it's working great.
Say it again.
Oh God, what did he say? He said,
I'm just reading Mastering Ethereum, and actually in Ethereum, to be gender neutral, they're called Omars, and they're called uncles by some people.
Yeah, I remember that. But did you guys ask around to see if anyone would actually object to Lorelei being a unicorn? Uh-oh.
Well, we usually have a reminder round, and it was not here. So in fact, I'm pretty sure I did not. But you know, I'm not sure it's. But we actually changed that to because we have the Lumio now. Well, no, the Lumio now comes after. Sorry, that was for Donnie. I remember now. Yeah. I will ask again though if there is any serious opposition. I'll say.
Okay.
So we were traveling when we booked this meeting, and so yeah.
Look at your conditional formatting.
Yeah.
Okay, and a commitment meeting, it's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we get to the fun part, which is some really cool questions.
Really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Lorelei, what is the sense of your life trajectory, and how does working within the Giveth Galaxy fit with that idea of what you are called to do in this world?
Okay. Well, my mission in life is to end oppression, and specifically racism. And how does that fit into Giveth? Well, let me tell you. So back like a year ago, before I came into Giveth, before I met this one, I was hanging out a lot at a place called Black Power Up Center in Seattle, and developing a plan for like how to end the different elements of systemic oppression that are going on in our city. Both, you know, at legislative levels, but also we were, you know, behind closed doors making plans for how, you know, how do we, when we can't get nonprofit status because we're too radical, or when we, you know, when the kind of work that we're doing is community-based and familial and is not really something that belongs in a business model of a nonprofit or even social services, you know, how do we continue to support our community and end the systemic oppressions that are happening to it outside of those traditional systems? And I was working there with a lot of really beautiful people who were getting challenged just time and again by all of these roadblocks of you know, the ways that governments want social change to happen. They want to keep an eye on it and keep it small and keep it profitable. And that equates to not real change. Wow, who knew? And so it's like, there's this community that I'm in, right? That I've been like studying for years and like working with these people and community organizing. And we're all sort of like grasping in the dark for something and doing great work, but like there's something missing, right? There's like, we don't have as much power because we don't have any organizational structure or the ability to use money really in a legal way, or in a way where law enforcement can't, or the IRS can't chase us down for it. So like meeting Giveth in Thailand last year was instantly like, bam, like this is the tool that we've been waiting for. And so that was really exciting for me. And I feel like forever connected to this part of Giveth's mission that's like really about creating opportunities for activists and community members and leaders to do what they need to do to take care of each other and make change happen without corrupt governments breathing down their necks. Yeah, I guess that kind of answers that question. I have more things to say, but maybe they'll fit into the next question.
Oh, okay. Well, you know these questions very well.
I do.
So what aspect of the Giveth purpose resonates with you? What unique talents and gifts can you contribute? I feel like this should be two separate questions. Let's just stick with what aspect does Giveth's purpose resonate with you?
Okay, so definitely like creating a platform so that it's easy for communities to organize, move through the world, use money without having to bow down to whatever their government wants to apply rules to them. Also, like, I mean, that's one point of power centralization, right? But power is centralized in so many ways in our communities, and like I love especially like, this purpose of Giveth to have the decentralization happen like within our organization, our community, at the same time and just as much as it's happening in what we offer out to the world. So like the idea that if we're trying to offer something that, you know, a platform that helps people use decentralized money and take the power for social services out of the governments, then at the same time, we need to mirror that decentralization within ourselves of like not having like strong influence just come from one person or like one, you know, group of people that have all of the power and like always running experiments and testing ourselves, questioning ourselves of like, are we using our power in an unfair way? Are we oppressing in any way? And like even questioning in every communication, like, oh, am I stepping on someone right now? Am I abusing my power? Could I make this more invitational? Could I make it more voluntary process? So yeah, that element of the purpose of Giveth really resonates.
Well, speaking of your power, you know, what tools and unique gifts and talents can you contribute to the Giveth journey?
Okay, so I like first and foremost, I have a lot of passion for and experience in like decentralized human communication stuff. One of those is like conflict resolution models. And like I've been working, I was trained as a restorative justice facilitator like 4 years ago or something. But I really started when I was like 15, being a chaplain and conflict resolution person for this religious organization that I grew up in. And so like understanding how, like facilitating the resolution of conflicts and just negotiations in general in a way that's not like, oh, this person has the ultimate authority, and giving labels to those things like, oh, this person is the victim, so they need to be the most accommodated, or oh, this person's the perpetrator, so we need to like excommunicate and punish them. Like stripping away those things and really just giving like equal power to all who are stakeholders in a decision or a conflict or whatever. And I also worked in a nonprofit organization that used holacracy, and I was on the board there, so we had a lot of holacratic meetings where we used the integrative decision-making model that we use in Giveth meetings as well. So yeah, that's a skill that I have.
You have others.
I have others. I also, I really just like making people feel welcome and like building community. So I'm always gonna like be a person that will bring people on field trips and play the ukulele with them and try and, you know, get everybody in the Giveth house to go out to the museum together in Barcelona and experience art and like and music and food and like other parts of our lives that help build community, which makes for more efficient and strong work teams too. I would love to be able to use my artistic skills more in this space. I don't know yet how that will happen.
You made that great Christmas card.
Yeah.
That Christmas card was excommunicated from Giveth.
Yeah, with reason. It's because it was too big for them.
That's right. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. You have so many tools. It's the tip of the iceberg, and just to break from facilitating, I think the biggest tool is your ability to learn new tools and implement them, and the drive to understand that really only the next person on the team, the only other person on the team that probably can hold a candle to you, and that is Kai. So I just had to say that again. Okay, but now we get to more standard bureaucracy. It's time to make sure that you've read all of our documentation.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. Have you read the advice process?
Yes, I have. And I agree to it.
Have you read and do you agree to the mission statement?
Uh-huh.
Have you...
Although I think I could use an update, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe some refreshing.
Probably needs one of those every 6 months.
Or at least people looking at it again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of people who haven't ever looked at it because we have new people now.
For sure.
Have you read and do you agree with the manifesto?
Mm-hmm. I like that one a lot.
How about the conflict resolution?
Yes.
That's good. What about the roles process?
Yes.
Wow, you wrote like all of these.
I did not.
How about the milestone tutorial?
I wrote that one.
Yeah. Do you agree to it?
Uh-huh.
And you read it. And okay, have you presented your roles? Would you like to present your roles right now to us?
I have presented my roles. We can talk about them now.
Yeah,
I want to look at the roles sheet though.
I can pull it up.
It's okay. I have my own computer.
Oh, aren't you cool?
You do.
Yeah, that's my computer.
That's right. Okay. So conflict resolution is a role on here. So this is an interesting one actually, because I have been trying to navigate for a while, like how to bring up sort of an ideological approach question with this role. But essentially, okay, the accountabilities, observing and being aware of team dynamics, communication, just being available to people if they need any facilitation or like advice or tools on how to do that. Yeah, so offering resources as well. Like whenever sometimes there's been, you know, people in conflicts that actually need like external support, like totally outside of the conflict resolution. I also like know a lot of just different like social organizations and like, oh yeah, like here, if you need some healthcare paid for in your country, like I'll track that down for you and help you find it. Or if you need like legal advocacy that you can't afford, documenting the conflict resolution processes and the action plans that come out of them, and checking in with those as time goes on. Keeping an eye on tools that can possibly prevent future conflicts. I think the roles process is like one of those. And then keeping the wiki updated with conflict resolution stuff. But yeah, there's been questions, I think, from everybody in this meeting here of like, man, like, shouldn't you be more proactive as a conflict resolution person? And both my training and I think our mission of decentralization actually argues that no, like you should just be a resource that's able to be tapped on if people ask for you, but you don't like butt in and insert yourself. However, like there's been enough asked about it that I've been wanting to like make a Lumio or something about like those two different philosophical approaches. So.
I think it was very interesting that you just now said you would help people with whatever problems they had associated with working with Giveth. That's a new information. I'm not in need of any particular thing, but it's really hard for you because I think you're right. It should be decentralized, and people should come to you if they really. Like they should come to you on purpose, and not like you should not come from top down and like take every conflict and be like the meddling in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna shut up now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think I agree now.
Maybe it just means sorry.
No. I wanted to say like that the time when we did start up a conflict resolution process, the one time that it happened that I know of. It was because it was requested, and it's good that it only started when it was requested. It shouldn't have started earlier because it started at the right time, I think. So yeah, no, my answer to the Lumia would be being called upon is a good thing because now people need to know that is part of your role.
Yeah. But maybe it would probably drum up more visibility of my role, so maybe just having that conversation would make more people aware of it, and then they know to call on me.
Yeah,
because that might be part of the problem. It's people just their head not going there. Oh, I have a resource for this.
Yeah. What are your other roles?
Okay, sorry. Other roles, team structure. So this is like a vague title that encompasses probably almost everything I do. But this is like the Unicorn DAC and the roles meeting and roles sheet. as well as any future tools, experiments like that I might do or create. I think, yeah, oh yeah, also like sometimes I help out with Gov meetings, like make the announcements or on occasion I'll facilitate them. And administration, I'm definitely doing a bit of this. I usually make sure that governance meeting notes are on the wiki, and I also like chase down people who have gotten reward DAO payments and make sure that they know that. And I don't know, make a lot of issues in GitHub that are probably administrative.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if there's other roles on here that aren't, or other roles I fill that aren't expressed. But.
Okay, no, that's great. I think that you are a very perfect candidate for these roles. And when should we do the next evaluation meeting?
I'm gonna go with the standard 3 months. Oh, look at you making an equation in there.
No, I guess I'm the Excel guy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so then at the end of March?
I'm gonna be traveling. Maybe let's make it like March 15th or something.
March 15th. Okay, sounds good. Then, let's see what else we got on our to-do list. Yeah, exactly.
My mom's gonna be in town, so.
Well, then, since we have all of these things done, I think that we can call it. Is there anything else that I'm missing?
Well, something that's not on there, but that I have started throwing in, it's like just talking with the uncles more, like how do they plan to support me, and maybe asking if I need specific.
That's a great question.
Support me or challenge me?
I'll just even add this to the wiki right now.
Wow.
So how uncles, actually, let's start with Lorelei. Is there a way that you see support from your uncles being especially beneficial in your Give Galaxy world?
Okay. I think that from Kai, like, I always kind of want to play around with you more on like technical stuff, like looking at the Argon apps for the Unicorn DAC context, and like even the wiki, like I have backlogged questions in my mind of like, oh, how do you embed a video? I figured out pictures. How do you? And so maybe just like more of you and me hanging out on a Jitsi room sometimes. Those are all, like, I feel like just a little bit of instruction from you oftentimes like just sets in a snowball of like really great work for me, because I have new tools that I understand. And from Chris, I feel like my projects are starting to kind of deserve like comms of their own a little bit. So maybe like just helping me think about that. And like in general, I probably need help with like time management, but I don't know exactly how you guys would support that. But you know, maybe even just checking in with me like every few weeks or something, being like, hey Lorelei, like how's your balance of stuff going? Like, are you able to like keep all your projects going. And Kai, I really appreciated you mentioning my life and me having one. Griff, in fact, he encourages me to not have a life. So if I could have, and Griff is obviously like my closest point of contact with
I encourage myself to not have a life. You just happen to be dragged along with it.
Yeah, indeed.
I encourage you to have a life.
Not really. Like,
sometimes.
For you, that is just your life, right? It's like you're having a life. You're having the time of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. If people from work all of a sudden started saying, "Hey, are you doing anything fun? Like, have you learned any new songs?" Remembering to be yourself. That might be nice. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about like ways to challenge me, support me, whatever.
Yeah, I would say, and with regard to that last point, if I would not spontaneously think of asking you like, hey, are you not too busy? I'll try to. But if I forget, because it's a question that people that I also always welcome, because I suffer from the same disease. But I would say like another way is that if you feel like the pressure is high and you just feel like venting for a moment, like I'm stressing over this or that, or I have too much, or this is on my mind right now, and just want to jump on a call and talk for a bit. I'm always here, whatever, just like call on me. So that's one thing. Another thing I would say is just like whenever it comes to, for example, I think we worked really well on just like the roles document itself. If there's other stuff like that that you're like starting and feedback and so on, always feel free to pick my mind. I love doing stuff like that. Okay. Whatever. Cool. I love like work buddies. Like, oh, let's just look at this thing together. Yeah, scratch it up. It's like someone taught me or read somewhere, I don't know, like if it takes you more than 15 minutes that you like are stuck on something, like call a helpline and ask some feedback for someone who's like whose brain is attuned to that, and that person helps. So, whatever. Nice, thanks.
And Kai, how do you see yourself supporting this unicorn?
I just want to like say before that I really want to say also thank you to Chris, because he is always my emotional like we play this emotional ping pong, so we had not so much need for conflict resolution, because we just like bitch at each other how about the stuff we don't like, and then it's good for another.
Yeah.
Now the cat's out of the bag. No, I really, so it's perfect, Lorelei. I really like to be the tutorial man in Giveth, or be the like ask me anything, and I happily help you with setting up everything. This, by the way, does not only extend to like this straight technical help. There's lots of stuff that's like in between the lines that's very useful. There's some stuff we always can improve, and I really hope from ideas for everything. Like recently I started to make a subdomain for everything, which is kind of like coming along nicely. So if you want like one link access to anything, just tell me and I make the link. I think it's a very useful way to like remember important document. Like let's take the role sheet, for example. How do you find the role sheet? It could be roles.giveth.io, you know, just an example, which I probably make after this call because it's a good idea. But you know, it's not really an idea. It's just taking the effort to think a little bit. But and it's of course very obvious. But this obvious stuff can be helpful. So I really want to help you with stuff, and let's talk about Aragon after your thingy here, because there's some like 2-3 things I want to say. And Yeah, I really would help you with anything, you know that. But yeah, you can always come to me, and I hope to be of help.
Aw, thanks, Kai.
No, always, man.
You guys are all so sweet. I got a sweet unicorn bunch here. And we do have a sweet unicorn bunch because I believe that is everything in our unicorn list. Well, yes, but we have to vote.
But still,
Yeah.
you are a unicorn for us.
Yay! So who's going to create the vote?
I'll create the vote.
Okay.
Does that seem wrong?
No.
No,
Okay.
nobody wants to do the work.
Yeah.
So about this thing, if you're ready, like, or you want to bath in your glory of being a unicorn, let's take 3 seconds.
You know, we haven't eaten dinner.
Well, I think
Yeah, I'm about to run out. Just wanted to say 2 things, which is one thing is I'm excited as hell for Aragon, but I haven't seen evidence yet that it would be so useful. So that's actually something like they came up with Griff when I think at your unicorn onboarding, or we talked, I don't know when we talked, but it's like, yeah, you know, and so, but having said that, we should definitely play around. So I suggest everybody who wants to be part of Aragon, Unicorn DAC on Aragon, testnet though, on our testnet DAO, because we won't use mainnet for the reasons we discussed last time, which is 1, it costs money, 2, it's not finished, 3, it might be not that useful yet. So we just fool around now, play around now to be ready for whatever migration later, which is an interesting topic. Can you migrate from testnet to mainnet? I don't even know.
Yeah.
So I would
I
suggest one thing. Like there is this. Sorry, did you want to say something?
Go ahead.
There is this. It's a bit hidden. It's under team organization now in the wiki. There is like this little unicorn DAC section, and there is, you can see Kai and Griff here, and these are our Ethereum addresses we will use with the DAO. So because I already created this test DAO, I will have to mint new tokens and mint them to your addresses, and then you can also join the DAO. So whoever wants to,
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you're actually in because you're, if that
it requires a vote, and we'll see about both of you.
Oh, that is true. That is true. But for one, like for Griff, it will be like I'm the only one to vote, so he's already in. Basically, I just have to do it. But is this the address you want to use, Griff, for Rinkeby?
Yeah, it's fine. We can always
Cool.
we can always rename it too. Like we can change the ENS.
By the way, that's gonna be the...
No, I meant is this? So I will mint your token for this address.
Yeah.
So and the other, cool. So and you guys just actually, and the same goes for Donnie. Is Bowen already a unicorn now? I'm already starting to lose like the oversight happening fast.
Samurai.
Cool. And then Paul, I think, following after that.
No.
So
this week.
Yeah, Paul is in.
He is in?
Yeah.
Well,
you did an offline meeting. I'm
being
becoming so used to being an uncle. I think like there's no meetings without me. Sorry, guys. That's awesome.
Sorry, this is the one, man. Wait, no, there were 2, right? Yeah, Chris.
Chris, yeah.
But he did join.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one meeting that didn't involve Kai.
That's okay. That's okay, guys. Like Christmas time, family time. But if you just edit like the real process should be that you go to the wiki and put your address there, but you can also send me an address and I'll ping you in the unicorn room again. Just one thing for this address, it should be MetaMask.
Yeah.
Can you actually see it on the wiki or only on the GitHub of the wiki?
No, you can see it on the wiki.
I see it on the wiki.
Yeah. But we're gonna put some context because when I saw it, I didn't even understand what it was about. It's
But it's not.
Team
maybe it's
organization.
Yeah, it's team organization. I put the link in the chat.
Yeah, no. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe we need to change this to unicorn DAC address or something.
Yeah.
Unicorn
Yeah,
DAC
I mean,
address.
Yeah, because I didn't get that part.
Yeah.
I didn't get the Aragon link.
Yeah.
when we did this, it was not like that. Yeah.
Yeah, as far as Argon being useful, it won't be useful until this man finishes his amazing work.
But he's doing this literally
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, but
I mean, useful in terms of if we were not using Lumio, it would be definitely useful. But there is no functionality yet that we cannot replicate with another software. But one thing would be,
it's about replacing Lorelei as
yeah.
delegate.
God,
Yeah.
just became a unicorn. You're already trying to replace me.
Oh, that's what we all do. Like, we always try to replace ourselves so we have more time for the fun in life, and can do something else.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not cool to do the same work for years and years.
Get out of here. It's like Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing, maybe we could get some, we could be a very good test bed for if Aragon is running apps in beta. I don't know, maybe we should talk to the guy. I don't know how this works, if they put it out per DAO or if they just move to a different branch or whatever. I don't know how they introduce new modules. But they could be interesting to be
I don't know if they. I mean, I do know how they do it on the dev side, but for the user, I don't know if they have a clear path for new modules.
There's stuff like planning tab that's coming up. That's very exciting just to look at and see, because that's the thing. There is not much you can do, or at least it requires your creativity, because it's all tokens now and it's all transactions and tokens, and it amazes me what you actually can do. But with a little bit of fantasy, you have to call it that.
Yeah, for sure. The templates aren't very useful right now, I would say, just flat out, but they will be.
Oh yeah, totally. I have no doubt that Aragon will be great.
Should we close this live stream?
Yeah. And maybe you guys want to make up food, right?
Yeah, the kitchen closing now.
Okay, wow, we need to roll. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kai. We love you, Kai.
I love you too. I'm getting sentimental always. Miss you.
Yeah, the unicorn, right? The unicorn ceremony is just pull out the heartstrings. Hey, say goodbye to Kai, guys.
Goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye. Enjoy
Sometime.
dinner. Hey.
We really miss you.
See you all at Aracon in the flesh.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So